What is going on, everybody? So one of the things I wanted to do, because it's getting to be the end of the year and I haven't done this at all this year, is talk about the kind of gear and what we're using to shoot all the videos that we shoot here at Dylan Talks Tone and at our Dylan and Leslie channel. I'm putting this on the Dylan and Leslie channel because we've been getting some questions. It's not really guitar related, so I figured we'd put it here. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through the main gear that I use to do all this stuff. Alright, so first things first, let's talk about cameras. Let's go B-cam first. We are shooting on, this is our B-roll camera, and we use this for a lot of stills, etc. This is our Canon EOS R. So this is the one without image stabilization. This is kind of the first big EOS R RF lens camera that came out a couple years ago. I've had it for a while. It was my main camera until we got that one. On this, we have a Canon 100mm macro lens. Leslie really loves this lens. This is like her combo. She will take this out and shoot all day long with just this 100mm macro. She really likes it. So this is the jam, and this is our B-roll situation. Also because you can get really nice B-roll with the macro. A couple other lenses we have. Of course, you gotta have the Canon RF Nifty 50, and then I've got a 16mm prime lens that I used to shoot all this stuff on until we got the lens that I'm shooting on now. We'll get to that in a minute. 24-105, just a telephoto, basic telephoto. This is the kit lens that came on one of these cameras. I can't remember which. And then we also have, and we've done a video on it, we have a 150-600 zoom Sigma, and that thing is fantastic. We shoot a bunch of stuff with that. Okay, so now let's talk about the A cam real quick. We've got the Canon R6. That is the jam. I love this camera. I've had it a little over a year. I really like it. But what's really changed my game is going from the 16mm prime that I was shooting all of this vloggy stuff on. I just bit the bullet and bought the Canon 15-35 RF 2.8 L glass, and it is, I'm just gonna say, this is like changed the game for me. It stays f2.8 from 15 all the way to 35. It's still 2.8, which most zooms don't do that. It's phenomenal. It's stabilized. It's unbelievable. That lens is not cheap. We'll leave a link to all the stuff as much as I can find below so you can check it out for yourself. I think at the time of making this video, this lens is on sale, but it was still like $22,000. That's really expensive. We got a Gopro Hero 10 that we use for just quickie vlog stuff. I don't normally use these because I don't like how they look, but out in good sunlight, doing stuff where you're hiking around and you don't want to take an expensive rig like this one, we bring this one with us. This is my old DJI Action camera that is like the DJI version of a GoPro. That's the old one. This is the DJI Action 2, which is the newer version. They have one that came after this, but what I like about this one is it splits apart. It's really, you can put it like on a pennant like this. We use this like on the roof of the van sometimes. And then we also have Insta360 1x2 360-degree camera. You've seen me use that in some videos as well, and it makes really neat footage, and I really like that. Let's move on to audio, because audio is an important thing for me. I really care about it. We just moved to the Sennheiser MKE 400. The reason I like this, and we'll get into the bag that I carry this stuff in a minute, the reason I like this is because it's hard mounted. It does not have one of these bouncy mounts on it. Everything is internal to the camera, and it's a lot more compact. Plus it sounds great. I really like it. So up until that point, I was using the Rode NTG. Many of you who have watched our videos may have seen the googly eyes on the end of the microphone. This thing is pretty awesome too. I still do use it on our other camera. We also put it on a tripod as an overhead boom sometimes. This works pretty well. I really like this microphone. We also let's just say I like to try gear, even if I don't use it all the time. Diety Pro 3 something something. I'll leave a link to it below. This is a great microphone. I have this one for sale right now because I never use it, but it's really good. It's just I had other microphones, ended up not using this one very much. Really good though. One of the Diety products that I do use all the time is the Diety Duo 4. Now this is a cool mic because it doesn't have a battery and it has a capsule on both sides of the microphone, and you can split the audio to both sides of the capsule. I'll show you why that's cool. Now, when you're vlogging with a camera, maybe you're holding it like this, or you have it on a little tripod, you know, like this Joby here, that's pretty cool. You'll have it on that tripod and you'll be talking like this, right? And you're talking to and you got the microphone. Well, the problem is when you go to show somebody something, you turn it around this way, and then all of a sudden the microphone's on the wrong side and their voice goes away. This thing has a capsule on the back too. So you can actually be behind the camera and you can be like, oh, look at this over here, and I'm showing you this thing, and you're talking into the microphone so it's still proper audio. I really like this microphone for doing that sort of stuff. We use it on the bench a lot when we're doing like explainer things. I really, really, really like this mic. It's not expensive, doesn't use a battery. And then what you do is in the editing process, you put one on the left side, one on the right side, and sum the audio, blah, 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 technical stuff, but basically you make it to where it's cool because you can adjust the levels separately when you record. So this is probably, besides my main microphone, the one I use the most because of that little specialized thing that it does. I really like it. All right, still on the subject of microphones, let's see, go over here to the drawer, and we have our Saramonic Blink 500 Pro, and these are lavalier mics. And so one of these, this little dude right here, goes on top of the camera, and then the other two are clips. So there's a couple of ways you can use these little clips. One is if you're kind of temporarily really quick miking somebody up, you can just clip it on their shirt. It looks dumb, but it works. Or you can use a proper lavalier mic that is included in the kit. You plug this in here, then you put this on the belt, you string it through the shirt so you can't see the cord, and boom, now you have a proper lavalier mic. You've seen me use this in many, 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 many videos. I really like it a lot, and actually you're probably going to see us use it more because Leslie and I have some content ideas that I think you're going to dig. So, that is a microphone. That's microphones. Let's talk lights. So, we're going to go backwards, from backwards to forwards, because the big light is right here. That's a window over there. I just found these recently on the internet. So you notice it was Amazon. You notice it was magnetized, stuck to the tool box there. These are tube lights with a little tripod on the bottom, so you can just stand them on the table, or they've got little 1/4 20 mounts in the bottom. But what I really like about them is, when you turn them on, they're wireless, they last about 3 or 4 hours, something like that. So now the light is on, but we could also, I don't know, what can we do? We can do stuff like change it to a different color, we can make them flash, we can do all kinds of stuff. So in the backgrounds to some of our videos, you will see this. This is also a video. If you want me to do a video specifically about how we shoot certain things, please get in the comments and let me know. If you want to know how we live stream, for example, we use this light or one of these lights every week as our second key light. So I will show you how we use this if you want me to do some more specific lights. Or some more specific videos, like how we shoot one of these videos, or how we shoot our live streams every week, or how we record our podcast, stuff like that. Let me know if you want to see that. Okay, let me show you a couple more lights. This is the Aperture Amaran 100X with the Aperture light dome on it. I really like this light because it is adjustable from color temperature and intensity. The softbox is really, really good. This is another thing that once we got this thing, I mean, if you look at the light on my face right now, it's nice and soft. The shadows aren't harsh. This lens and this light are what make my videos look better than they used to look. Just no lie. This light, if you had this light and a couple of these little tube lights, you could probably make an iPhone look better than a lot of people can do with a good camera. Like, this light is really, really key to what we do. And then we've got a couple more. All right, so if you've watched our videos at all or our live streams on the Dylan Talks Tone channel, you'll see the glow coming up on the wall. And so we've got the other glow here coming up on the wall, and I'll show you what that light is right now. It is one of these Aperture MC lights, and they are very cool. They strobe, they color temperature, they change colors. Obviously, they're RGB, and also they're just like these other ones, and they have magnets on them. And they're battery powered, and they last a couple hours. So we leave that on the desk right there. And that's it for lights. Just a real quick run through on editing and computer. I've got a 16-inch MacBook Pro here. We have a Focusrite 18i8 interface. I use a Loupedeck CT control surface with Final Cut Pro, which is my editing software of choice. I used Adobe for a while, but I went back to Final Cut. And then we've got a set of JBL 305 audio monitors here, and that is the audio and editing, video editing side of what we do. I have two bags. They're both these Lowepro tactical bags. This one is the big one. I think this is the 450. I also have the 350, which is the smaller one. But a tripod can go here, and batteries in there, and blah, blah, blah. And this is the bag that I use most of the time. So one of the reasons I was telling you I like getting back to the hard microphone with no zircote mount is because I can actually take the microphone, this whole camera rig, doing this one-handed, and I can just set it right in here. Dangerous Dave stick. I can just set it right in here and close this. And what I like about that is then when I am vlogging or shooting something out in the field, I can just take the camera out, turn it on. I don't have to assemble it. I don't have to put the microphone on, plug everything in, do all that. It can just sit on this top little table in this bag. I stole the idea from Peter McKinnon, but I didn't have to spend $500 on his backpack to do it because I already had one that kind of did it. So it's pretty cool. Well, there you go. There's a little rundown of everything that we use. Oh, there's one more thing. I have a drone. So I have the Mavic Air 2S, and I want to thank one of my YouTube viewers for sending me. He actually sent me a couple other drones, but he also sent me this case that I now have to carry it in. So now I don't have to just throw it in a bag. So that's pretty sweet. So this is the case for my drone, but it's a Mavic Air 2S, got a couple extra batteries and a charger and etc. and stuff. So when you see drone shots, that's most of the time what you're going to see. I also have a Mavic Mini for those times when you got to be a little more discreet. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'll leave a link to as much of this stuff as I can find in the description. If you use those links, it helps the channel out quite a bit. If you have questions about this, I will come back and look at this video. I know it was a lot packed into it. I didn't want to make it exorbitantly long, can get too much into detail. So if you want to see specific reviews or how-tos on any of this gear that we use, because not only do we use it in the studio, but we take this stuff out and we shoot still photography with it, we shoot drone photography, we shoot video, all of the vlogs that we do, we basically use the equipment that you see here. And most of it we take in a couple of backpacks on our road trips and stuff in the van, and that is what we take with us. So if you want to see simplified versions of that, if you want to see full rig stuff, podcast setups, live stream setups, all those sorts of things, get in the comments and let me know, and we'll dive into any of that as much as possible. But I want to just give you kind of an overview of everything and maybe some ideas, you know, if you're trying to upgrade your stuff. Here you go. I know this is years of doing it, but, you know, it happens, and it's fun. Thanks for hanging out. My name is Dylan. This is the Dylan and Leslie channel. Go out there and do something fun. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you soon.